All right, I think we good. We're good to go. We're good to go. We live. What is good, guys? Commodore Lads here today, bringing to you guys some Infinity War discussion to talk about today. Just first and foremost, before we even get into this film, so a bit of backstory, right? Also joining me right now, we got Alan, we got Naya, we got a few more people joining afterwards. If you want to come through for the stream and stuff, join the Discord. We're gonna have like a small cap of like 15 people, so we don't have like 1,000 people just blaring our ears and stuff, because we don't want that. We love to talk about Infinity War, but we don't want to lose our minds. But just a quick backstory. So 3 weeks ago, I had not watched one single film in the MCU verse, and aside from Iron Man 1 and Hulk, but I didn't understand the whole concept of Avengers. Like, it would lead to one film, next film, and then whatever, right? So on, so on, so on. And I kept hearing this hype about the Thanos dude, Infinity War, and everything. And I'm like, you know what, man? I'll give comics a shot. Let's check the films. I saw Iron Man 2, and I was ready to back the fuck out. I was ready to back out. But then we got deeper into the whole. Saw the greatness that is Captain America. Shout out to him. His trilogy is my favorite, man. Cap is the GOAT, bro. And Phase 1 was nice, had some good stuff there. The first Avengers film was pretty good too. Phase 2 gave me the Winter Soldier greatness. Like that's like, dude, Captain America is like Metal Gear Solid to me, honestly. Like, just a little like the connection with with Steve, with Bucky, with Peggy, just like, it was phenomenal, man.
It's the best MCU film to this day. Like,
arguably,
honestly,
yeah, and it's like,
this is definitely,
and it's like, I look back and like I'm thinking of like Winter Soldier again. It's like, I would, even as much as I love this film, it's so tough because Winter Soldier was just like, it was just that damn good, man. But Phase 2 was great, but I feel Phase 3 was the strongest lineup of films. Going from, I think it was Civil War. It was a Civil War. I think it was the first film in Phase 3 all the way up until literally Infinity War. So like, yeah, so many good things, man. Guardians of the Galaxy 2, which I love that film, man. That second half is just so good. Shout out to Yondu. And
yo,
I knew Yondu was the GOAT from Guardians 1.
From the jump, eh?
Yeah.
When he slapped Quill, he's like, "What is she filling your head with, boy? Sentiment?" I'm like, "You slapped her for having emotions?"
Yeah.
He was a GOAT from that.
Powerful.
Yeah, bro, because it's just like with Yondu, is like, I thought he was just a joke. He was gonna be like whatever, right? Especially like the way his portrayal was in Guardians of the Galaxy 1. And I'm thinking, okay, whatever. But then he had this goddamn little arrow needle thingamajig that he had, and I'm just like, hold on, okay. Like, he started blitzing that whole entire group back in the first film. I'm like, okay, hold on, this might be some heat. And then he does the exact same thing when they escape, and I'm like, oh. But then it just sunk into me that like by the end of the film, I knew it was either him or it was going to be like Ego that was going to go out. And Ego was kind of obvious, but then as soon as it started sinking in, it was like, yeah, Yondu's not surviving after this. And it wasn't until like the rocket moment where he's like, welcome to the Guardians of the freaking Galaxy. I'm like, he's dead. He's dead.
Yeah.
You don't get welcome to the group towards the end. You're dead. And it wasn't until like after like, he went to go save my boy Star-Lord, which we'll get into him in a minute, because I was about to swing hands with him in the theaters, but
Yo, you was on some foolishness.
He's gonna catch that heat from
he's gonna catch the heat later in this discussion. But the second I saw when Yondu came in and he rescued him, and I'm like, okay, they're good. And then as soon as he goes and puts the protection on him after, I'm like, okay, he's dead. Like, this, like, why, man? And just like, shout out to Yondu, man. Like, we have to put respect on his name. Otherwise, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 wouldn't be as GOAT. But, man. But Phase 3 was great. And then to cap it off, we got Infinity War. And I watched that on Wednesday. I watched in the afternoon. It took 20 minutes for the damn film to start with all these goddamn ads. Shout out to Canada, by the way.
Bro.
Yeah, bro. They told me 12:30 start time. Starts at 12:50. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, bro? And then, like, they told me it's supposed to be a 3-hour film. I'm going to be here till 4 o'clock. Are you kidding me? Like, and then I'm watching the first 10 minutes in, and I already wanted to leave the damn theater. I was so pissed, bro. When Loki got his throat crushed. First off, I'm like, why would you go and attack Thanos, bro? Knowing what he did to the Hulk. Literally just, like, mere minutes before. You know what I mean? It's just like, why would you attempt that? he goes in with the dagger,
Insane.
and then just like, yeah, he's dead. I'm just thinking, like, please don't kill him, and then he's just choking the life out of him. It's just like he knew I was watching the film, and he's like, yeah, Loki's dying. It's fuck you. Like, that's it.
Like, you think you could keep carrying the Thor franchise?
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, he carried it through the first film and Dark World, man. He carried it, but it's just like
some trash.
You know what's funny? I actually like bits of it, like the dimension fight with Malekith, whatever the fuck his name is.
I don't remember.
Whatever, but the fight was dope. The invasion, like, back in his hometown, especially because of like Frigga dying. If no one had died, then it would have been mid. But the invasion I thought was like fine. But I think just in general how Malekith went out with the whole thing with Eric and the and his like his machine and shit, I thought that was trash. That kind of killed the film for me for a bit. But man, it just pissed me off. Loki went out. Heimdall got taken out after sending fucking Bruce. Like, we gotta talk about Bruce, man. I don't know, because he was very questionable in this film.
No, it wasn't no questionable.
I mean, that's not even the worst, but yeah, like, he didn't do much.
But it's
with
like
Banner, what it looks like they're trying to do is build up his relationship with the Hulk, because if you read the comic books, you know that him and the Hulk have a relationship and they can talk and switch back and forth. And there's times where Bruce will be able to tap into Hulk's power but keep his mind. So
right.
I think they're trying to build into that thing. So I think what it was is he's kind of scared right now, and him and Bruce are actually going to develop a less hostile relationship. And then from there, you're going to get to see like Bruce Banner with Hulk with Bruce Banner's intellect.
Right. Because it was so weird, because it's like, you know, going back to like Ragnarok, right? Like, Bruce was saying, if I go back into the Hulk, I'm not coming back. And it's just like, then you go to Infinity War, it's just like Hulk didn't want to come out. And I'm thinking to myself, it's because that Thanos literally smacked the you know, the epitome of like fear into him.
Into a child.
Like,
yeah, he's like the dog shit.
Bro, I watched the film, like, Hulk was going in. I'm like, okay. But then as soon as Thanos just grabbed his arms and just started like twisting him back, I'm like, oh, he's gonna get the work, isn't he? And then he just did. And it's like, bro, he got body slammed. Man knocked him out with a body slam. Like, how do you think?
Yeah, he works the dog shit out of it.
Yeah, like, that was just some sad stuff, man. Like, but then, you know, as soon as we got further into the film, like, it was just getting crazy and crazy, because you had like all the invasions that were going on with, like, you know, Midnight, Marks, I think his name is, the one that captured Doctor Strange, and then you had like the big ass dude and stuff who was trying to fight off with like Iron Man and like Wong, which Wong, I now I understand the meme. Now I understand.
Wong is the go.
I understand.
That guy, yo.
I understand the memes now,
Thanos,
bro.
that's crazy. Y'all stay safe.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what the fuck? Bro, this guy was hyped up in the beginning with Strange, and then it's just like, I'm gonna go back to the Sanctum, and I'm like, okay. And he just didn't show up for the rest of the film. Like, what the hell?
Because he's the go. He's the go.
Okay, you gotta admit though, it definitely made it seem like he knew some shit was about to go down. So,
Yeah.
he cut early because he's like, alright.
Deadly Class.
Yo,
Deadly Class.
big
Hey.
facts, man. Big facts.
Oh, now I'm gonna check out Deadly Class.
I've never seen a more goat scene in a movie. That nigga literally was not going to come back. He was like, nah, y'all got it.
He went in the Sanctum and put on some Magic Netflix.
Yeah. Bro, it was just crazy, man. And then just like, I liked everything there, man. Strange, you know, Spider-Man. Yo, shout out to Peter Parker. Like, I love his combat style, man. Like, especially how like now, like, because the whole thing that got to me was the whole 560 whatever the styles he had with the new suit and everything. Like, he could literally do a whole bunch of different combinations of his like the webs and stuff. And I'm just thinking, okay, that adds like a new dimension to his like abilities, like what he can do and stuff. But just like, and especially the suit itself, like he was always almost up in space. Literally, the altitude's about to be dying, and then as soon as he gets that suit, he's good. So I'm just like, holy shit, like he could.
So let me touch on that for a second, because like one thing I didn't like about Homecoming was that essentially the suit that Spider-Man gets, which is his trademark suit,
right,
has a lot of the qualifications of the Iron Spider, which he gets in Infinity Wars, right?
Right.
And I was like, what I didn't like about the suit for me is that it seemed like it kind of is a replacement for his Spidey sense, because until Infinity Wars, there was very little reason to believe he had it, because he never really used it. He had, I don't know if it was Friday or whoever the AI was telling him how to do shit. But obviously when his hair stood on end when Thanos came, that was his Spidey sense reacting to danger. But I almost felt like, what was the point of that suit to do all that stuff if you just had the Iron Spider already? Because Iron Spider is just the same thing but better, plus it's suited for space travel and stuff.
Right. That's interesting.
But He was like one of my favorites in the movie. Like Tom Holland's Spider-Man to me is like the perfect teenage Peter Parker. Like he embodies that character very well because I grew up on Spider-Man a lot. And while I would like to see a more like an older Spider-Man, like finally on screen would be nice, like college or even after that. Tom Holland's Spider-Man is just perfect. It's a little bit Tony Stark Jr., but it's dope.
Yeah. But man, yeah, definitely. I like him a little bit more than with Tobey Maguire in the first one, and especially over the guy from The Amazing Spider-Man. Because that one I was just like,
he's a little he wasn't that bad. He's a little too cool. That's the problem. Peter Parker was not cool in high school. He was
because that's not his personality.
He's not cool at all.
But until he got bit by that spider, he was a bitch.
Yeah. But then what else? I'm trying to remember this. So then afterwards it goes and segues to like Vision and Scarlet, which I was like, okay, hold up, they're a couple. Yeah. I'm like, wait, and then I'm like, wait, why is Vision white? I was like, why is Vision white? Like I'm like, wait, they whitewashed the thing, but no, they changed like his complexion and stuff. And I'm like, I knew there was something going on in Civil War, but then I'm just thinking like they just made him a couple. You know what I mean?
They actually are a couple in the comics.
Yeah, just kind of random.
Yeah.
No, but they were following the comics. That happens for a while. They're together.
Yeah. But
for sure. But like, given what happened in the previous films, like.
Yeah, if you never picked up a comic, you'd be confused.
Yeah, because it's like they were like, I mean, they made Paprika. You know what I mean? So it's just like that just that results in a couple nowadays. Okay, I'm gonna start making like souffles and shit. Like we're gonna be a couple. So like, you know what I mean? So I thought it was okay, but hey, Scarlet's the go, man. I did not know that she was related to the Olsen twins because I looked up her actress name Elizabeth Olsen. I'm like, wait. I was like, what the fuck? And I'm looking at her. Wait, she looks like one of the twins. What?
Oh my God.
How am I only seeing this now? Like. So shout out to Elizabeth, man.
Damn! I didn't even know that. You taught me something new.
I made that joke in passing when I saw her name, and someone was like, "Oh no, she's the younger sister," and I was like, "Oh, what for real?"
Yeah, like like the twins are 31, she's 29. I'm like, whoa, like that's spooky. But no, Scarlet Witch, man, I loved her in this film. Like she was just.
I love most of the females in this film. To be honest.
Yeah, like my girl Black Widow, she went in as well. I was proud of her. Like. Bro, like I don't want to jump too far into because I want to talk about that fight afterwards with her, Okoye, and the Witch against Midnight because that fight I loved it. That was a great clash. But
my man going in order. I feel you.
Yeah.
Okay, so one thing I liked about that's it. If you're going in order, then I don't want to jump anywhere.
Yeah. Because I think it was afterwards. Like they were in Scotland. Glaive and Midnight came in. They started fighting them off, and then it's when like Captain America showed up afterwards. Which I love that scene because it's like, you see him coming through the train. I'm just like, oh wait, he's pulling up like my boy Cloud, from Final Fantasy VII. I'm like, oh shit. And then like he came in and it was one of those things where it's like I saw him and I'm like, bro, he has like the beard and everything. And I'm just like, again, I compare the Captain trilogy to like Metal Gear Solid because it's like I look at him like Solid Snake and it's just like if I'm looking like Metal Gear Solid 4, for example, when it's like old Snake and I see him with the beard, it's just like. I know you're 95, but it's like you look at him, it's like, damn, bro, he grew up. Like, he looks like he really grew up, like, in his appearance and stuff, from, like, this scrawny-ass kid to, like, this guy now who's, like, able to fight it off with aliens, able to square... Well, I mean, he got washed by Thanos, but we'll get to that after. But it just looks so good, man. I love Captain. Like, his character is just... It's still top one to me. Like...
I'm not really a huge Cap fan, but I think that
Me neither.
The MCU did a good job with him, though. Like, I think he's a lot more interesting in the MCU than he is in the comic books.
Yeah.
Like, he's kind of a, straight by the book, kind of no nonsense, old school kind of, like, dude.
Mm-hmm.
With his, like, his super, like, high standards and priorities and, like, morals and stuff. But I felt like they did a good job with him in the MCU. I do like him in the cinematic universe. I'm not really an overall fan of him, but he's cool. But his movies are the best movies.
Yeah.
Yep. Big facts.
I was gonna say, like, what did you guys think of also like the interaction between like Thor and the Guardians of the Galaxy? Because I love that stuff. Like I thought he died first and foremost. 'Cause I'm thinking like how do you survive that? And then he just shows up on the windshield of the freaking ship, and I'm just like, yo, like.
I mean, he is a god.
Guardians are very powerful, and he's half Elder God, so that definitely wouldn't kill him.
Yeah.
So. It was nice to see him get some kind of like endurance, durability, vitality feats in this movie.
Yeah.
Right, and I really think this movie has portrayed him probably the best than any other, even his own movies. I like
finally
this movie than in any other movie.
Yeah, Finally.
Yeah,
Like it was about time because like his portrayal's been pretty like because you know how powerful he is from reading it, right? So seeing him in MCU sometimes is a little annoying.
Yeah, because it's like he has to be nerfed to fit on scale with everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
But in this movie, he definitely stand out in every way. It almost made it feel like it was his movie down there. Other than like he was the good guy.
He put in a lot of work during that movie.
His storyline his storyline to me was far more interesting than anything he's done in his own movies.
You're right.
100%.
No, we'll get there when we get there.
Yeah. And then we kind of go off to like, you know, the separation from there. So it's like, you know, Thor, Groot, Rocket, they're going to go and try and like, you know, meet up with the dwarf, which will, like him, I was kind of like, because I knew it was Peter Dinklage, but I'm like, his whole scene, I'm just kind of like, with him, you know, like just, I guess like the way that they came across with his character and stuff. Because I feel like in the comics, it might be a whole different thing if it's importance. Because like this guy crafted the goddamn Stormbreaker, right? So it's just like, I'm just thinking like he would be way more like, you know, his, I guess like his personality would come off a lot better than how it was portrayed here. Like, I don't know, just something felt off with me with him.
Yeah, with the comics, they, you know, you see it more in depth. In this one, he was kind of in passing, so you didn't really care. You're just like, oh, this is the guy who's gonna make the hammer. But other than that,
But I like that whole thing where it's like you see like they're trying to find the handle and like Groot finally puts the game down and he goes and like makes like the handle and stuff. Like I love that because it's like it's such a silly thing, but it's just like for his character because he's growing up from like when he was like a baby Groot to now. It's just like that like adolescence, man. Like the boy just grew up. Like
he seems to really like he's like Thor.
Yeah.
What I thought about that scene that was like really weird and cool at the same time was like Stormbringer is a weapon that belongs to Beta Ray Bill in the comics, who's like a Corbinite who was worthy of the hammer, and Odin long story short, he becomes a champion and Odin gets him a hammer too. That's similar to Mjolnir, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they gave it to Thor in this movie, which looks a lot like his Mjolnir from the Ultimate Universe, and so does his outfit. So I thought it was cool that they kind of was able to kind of shoehorn that in. I'm not sure if I like that Beta Ray Bill may never be a part of the MCU, but him getting his like ultimate outfit and stuff, that was super dope.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I mean, like especially like, you know, like Thor's design too. Definitely, I thought was like the best design we got of him. From all like even Ragnarok, I liked it too, but it's pretty much the same design basically. Like from Ragnarok went to Infinity War, but like I like that way, like him with the short hair way better than the long hair. But I'd seen the way he looks like in the comics with the long hair. He actually looks pretty dope. But his MCU version with the short hair, fire, absolutely. You
gotta see him with the long beard. It's kind of raw.
Yeah, so he's out here like his pops then.
Yeah.
Damn. And hey man, I was the one thing I was just like, you know, I really wish he kept the eye without like, you know, the eye patch and stuff. And then when I see my boy Rocket with the eye, and I'm like, wait, damn. So he kept it the whole time. It's gonna be something important.
Rocket's the goat,
bro. This man gave him the Rinnegan, bro. I'm just like.
At this point, he's technically the Guardian of the Galaxy, but like we'll get to that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say because then like we move on to the stuff afterwards with like Thanos and like Gamora, and I love that bit with them together. And then it's just like I love Thanos and I hate him. You know what I mean? It's like I respect like what he is as a villain and stuff, but it's like, man, you're a piece of shit in so many ways. Because it's like I know like we're moving on to like the stuff where like, you know, he goes and takes Gamora. We find more for like flashback and stuff, how like he retrieved her, you know, thought he was the one that gave her like the pocket knife and stuff that we seen from like the first film and stuff. And then it's just like, you know, him and like his relationship with Nebula and stuff, and like how like, you know, he would just pit these girls against each other, you know, to see like who was the better and stuff. Every time this girl would fail, Nebula, he would go and just like, you know, modify her, take her body parts and stuff and put in machinery. I'm just like, God, like, and then he just goes and shows affection to the other daughter. I'm just like, yo, this man's sick in the head. Like, how do you come up with this mindset like this is completely fine, like, you know? But then it's just like,
and the fact that they tried to make him come off as sympathetic too. It's like,
it's just like it would anger me, and it's not in the sense like I didn't like the writing part of it, but it would anger me because it's like, how dare you try to seek justification for what you're doing right here, because this is all wrong. Like,
no, I agree with you in that sense, but
I think she's probably in the Soul Stone though. She's not dead.
Oh yeah,
I mean, there's that too, I guess. But
yeah, I mean, again, that part with the Soul Stone stuff with like Red Skull being there, because at first I was like, why is Red Skull there? And then I'm like, wait, it makes sense now, because when we saw him in the first Avenger Captain America film, when he got sent up and stuff, he was going into space. So I'm thinking, okay, that makes sense. Like he would have gone there, protected it for some time being until somebody came there to go and claim it. But that scene though with Thanos, bro, like this man shed tears, and then it's like he at the end like he really did care for Gamora, like a daughter and stuff. But it's like he needed to convey that emotion to be able to obtain it, otherwise he wouldn't. But it's like one of those bittersweet moments, you know. It's just like I hate that he had to go down that route. But it had to happen, otherwise he wouldn't get all the stones. But
one thing I wanted to say was like when I was going into the movie, I was unsure of how they were going to kind of get everybody together, which they didn't. They split them up. But what worked is like I don't know if you guys got the same impression that I did. It felt to me like Thanos was the protagonist.
Yeah,
he was a good guy. He was the protagonist. This is the type of character because this was basically Thanos Quest, Infinity, and Infinity Gauntlet kind of mashed into a movie, right?
Yeah.
So you're seeing him get the various stones, and then obviously the snap, and then I'm not going to go into the other stuff, but like I thought that by making him the central character and having everyone else kind of play off what he does, it made for a good amount of screen time for everybody. Like it felt good. Like no one felt kind of sunned or anything like that. Like I thought that was a good choice to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say like because someone earlier said that like Captain America didn't do much. He's going to get his shine in the next Avengers movie.
Yeah, in the next
this
movie.
is the Iron Man half, if that makes sense.
Yeah, this is more Tony focus, and then definitely because I felt really weird with Captain America. Cause like he was doing his thing with the aliens, but then it's just like Thanos came up to him and just whacked him aside and just like,
dude, trust me.
Because I know that like Captain America, like when it comes to the comics, like way he's being portrayed in the MCU is completely different from the comics. Because in the comics, like he's like the strongest of what a human being can be. If I'm correct on that, so it's like
he's actually supposed to be basically peak human level, but he's definitely superhuman in the MCU.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm just thinking like, yeah, it's like he's not gonna do much, but it's just like, man, to just get whacked like that and that's it. But then it's like you look at everyone else, it's like, of course, bro. But look at Thanos had like 5 gems on him before the Mind Stone at the end, like oh man. But
he smacked everybody to the side though.
Well, honestly, once he had the reality gem or the Time Stone, he was good. That's all he needed to do, and nothing you could do would really phase him. Those are like the 2 most powerful stones, pretty like easily.
Yeah, and then like I guess we'll go to like the stuff on Titan because oh my god, like the visuals for everything that happened on Titan, like you know even from like when Thanos rolled up in there, Star-Lord and all of them like got there, they're gonna clash with Iron Man before setting up the plan and stuff to stop him. I'm just like, dude, the visuals are so goats. Like Doctor Strange versus Thanos, like that has one of those beautiful, like the choreography was on point and it just looks so beautiful. Like when I think like for me like my favorite part of that entire like sequence, I think it was more going into the Iron Man fight, which was like when Thanos pulled down the moon.
Oh,
dude,
I was like, bro.
I felt a little bit cheated because he actually just pulls the actual moon down, not like pieces. But it was still cool that they still kind of did it, so I was okay with it. I'll take the compromise. Yeah. I'll take it.
But he clutches his hand, bro. I mean, he's like, and he just pulls this thing. I'm like, yo, strange.
Dude, the choreography on that action was actually all kinds of pristine. It was really great to watch.
Like it was just so goat, man. And then like you know Iron Man like trying to square up with him, Spider-Man, dude. I was so impressed with Drax because I've heard Drax like I don't know if I should say it now because I got spoiled on this in regards to, like people who can actually beat Thanos in combat, and I was told that Drax was apparently one of them. But like I saw his portrayal in the movie, and like every time he went for an attack on Thanos, he was landing a hit, and it was a hit where it's like it could bring him down a foot. Like he was going at his ankles, his knees, and stuff, and every time he hit him, he was like, if not doing damage, at least doing enough to where like it was gonna bother Thanos. And I was just like, holy shit! And then just like you know, Spider-Man going in there with like his own head kicks and stuff, and I'm just like, but the Thanos is like that's nothing because it's like you know it all came down to that moment where Iron Man punched him, or it was Iron Man punched him, and then he's like you know all for a drop of blood. I'm just like yo, this is nothing.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about the Star-Lord part, man, because I legit almost blew a gasket in the theaters when I saw.
Yo,
okay,
that was some foolishness.
Please let me do this. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So this was a cool scene in a way because what I liked about it was in terms of the MCU.
Yeah.
Iron Man was in Chris Pratt, Star-Lord's position, in Civil War. where Zemo was behind the scenes, kind of manipulating things, and then when he showed to him the video of Bucky killing his parents, it's like, dude, I understand. At the very least, finish the mission and then deal with what had to happen later. And Iron Man snapped, right?
Yeah.
Now Iron Man is basically Captain America in this situation, and he's trying to tell Star-Lord, "Yo, relax. Like, let's get the glove off before you act like an ape." Right, and then he aped out. And I was like,
that's a great point.
I wanted to sympathize with him because I get it. Like, he was willing to kill Gamora and make the sacrifice, and basically she didn't die, and then to find out that she died anyways pissed him off. All right, I get it, but come on, bro, that wasn't the way.
Right.
No.
Well, I think what did him worse though is he kind of came off jackassy at the beginning.
Yeah, like a punk and stuff
So
the entire time. It's like,
it made you even more mad.
Yeah, like that stuff with him, and like I think it was more stuff too with the stuff with him and Thor, because like he was acting all like like a boss and shit, and then Thor just because that's how some of my boy SJC was saying in the comments, because like he roasted the entire crew. He's like calling them morons and shit, like idiots. I'm just like, bro, only Thor could do that, and he gained 2 people.
He's like, he was a guy. He was a guy.
He called him like a pretty rabbit. I'm like, bro, you're silly, like.
Yeah, Thor was out of control at the beginning of that movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was down, so he was out of control.
I gotta say, I was never a Thor fan.
Hey,
but
SJC.
after this movie, what's up? After this movie, Thor bumped up in the rankings,
Right, big facts. Thor jumped way up for me.
You know what it is, Terrell? Because every time I was watching like the first and second Thor film, right, I was like, I like Thor, but your movies are fucking mid, bro.
Yeah, I didn't care for anything that happened in them.
If I had to say, if Thanos was the number 1 spot, he was the number 2 spot for me in that film. Because, dude, when he rolled up in Wakanda, like, we might as well just get into the Wakanda stuff, man. Because, bro, when he pulled up in Wakanda with Groot and Rocket, I was like, dude, you know what moment it reminded me right away of for Marineford, when Luffy pulled up with the log.
I'm telling you,
and I'm like, I'm like, wait. And then, dude, this man with the electricity running around him and stuff, and he goes up.
They made that so cool. It was so
bro,
cool.
He dropped Haki the Supreme King on all those aliens. Like, it was nothing. And I'm just like,
what he's supposed to be doing all the time.
See, that's what I liked about this movie. Basically, since Ragnarok, they have basically like the first 2 movies, and then even the first 2 Avengers, he just felt like part of the crew.
Yeah.
But now he feels like a god. Yeah. Like, he shouldn't be fucking with no normies.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Yo, that's what I'm saying. They've been babying him for so long. That's the issue. In all the previous films, that's what it's been. Like, they just treat him like a child. Like, they power him down. They have to water him down to make him fit
Speaking
into,
of
like,
nerf,
hold on.
The Black Order. What was this? Why did they do that to them? They were easily my least favorite part of the movie because they got nerfed to shit. Like,
they really did. They got treated like trash. They got treated like fodder.
You had Black Widow throwing hands with proximity midnight, bitch. What?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how I felt. That's how I felt. I was like, wait.
Which doesn't make no damn sense.
Yeah, but dude, she was so good though. I loved her, man. Like, Black Widow, dude, what, like her, Okoye, and Scarlet Witch, I love that entire fight sequence, man. Because it's like when you see the stuff with Midnight, she grabs on Scarlet and she's about to take her out, and she's like, I still got people with me. And then you just see Okoye on one side, Black Widow on the other, and they square up. I'm just like, dude, I love the fight choreography for that was insane.
It was
you know what I felt though? You know what it felt like? I felt like they went to Twitter and they started looking at those comparisons, and they were like, if they together.
Yeah, like, but it was just.
That's what it felt like.
And then Scarlet got the W.
Work,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mappa did all kinds of work. All right, so I mean, I can't hate all of them, but somebody did something. All right, it's a little bit, it's a small thing. It's a cop out, but still, like.
I know it's MCU and they gotta nerf it, but I felt like when Star-Lord caught that spear, I was like, whoa, you can't hold that.
Yo,
Cap. Sorry, Cap. I'm like, Cap, what? You know how heavy that shit is?
Yeah. But
but it was good. The fight scene was crazy.
Yeah. Fight scene was good.
Thoughts on Hulk?
Thoughts on Hulk, bro? Oh man.
I'm not a Hulk fan, but I think I know where they're going with this. So like I said earlier, they're trying to build that relationship.
They're all
with Bruce
like
and
you
Hulk.
said, they're all getting that shine. The second movie.
Yeah. Like,
actually, that's another thing too. Like, Naya, what you were saying earlier about how this is really like Thanos' movie, like that's really what it is, because we know who all the other characters are. We don't know who Thanos is.
Yeah.
So
Yo,
this really like
Thanos
had to
need
be
his
an
own separate
introduction.
film after this, yo. Yeah, they can make a whole new animated series with this stuff, yo.
I want to say something real quick because like jumping back to the Gamora thing, I felt like Gamora kind of was the replacement for Mistress Death. I still don't want to count her out yet because part of me is like this half the universe shit does not make sense if she's not in play somehow, shape, or form.
Right,
I'm
because
not
she's the
saying-
whole thing.
I'm not saying he has to be a cuck for Death in this movie, like in this MCU, but maybe there's some kind of deal or arrangement or some kind of something. Like why would he do this? Because the balance stuff, it all kind of makes sense, but it doesn't when you think about all the beings that don't require anything. They don't need time or space. They don't need food or nutrients or planet to live on. They just exist. There's different types of beings, ethereal, cosmic. So it's like you being like, oh no, there's not enough food for people. That doesn't apply to like a lot of people in the universe. So you don't need to do this.
But casuals don't know that.
I don't know that. Yeah, I didn't know that.
That's niggas like you walking into the film, jumping up in arms. And you like, no, this can't be possible. Everybody else will be looking at you like, what the fuck you talking about?
Hey, real quick though, I just want to get it. Yo, Straw Hat, you there, bro?
Yeah.
Yo, what were your thoughts on the film, man?
That was a high quality movie I saw a couple of weeks ago. I've been on this like since I was a little kid. Like I was in the demographic when like Iron Man 1 came out. So watching this all come to a head like year after year, watching each and every movie, it's crazy that they were able to hit me with something like this. And like I made the comparison to Gintama 305 before, and it's almost exactly like that. Just like Srirachi building us up with like Gintoki's character, with everybody's character, and then just like hitting us with something hard. Like right at that moment.
Damn. Like,
yo,
what were you gonna say, bro? What were you gonna say?
Yo, I haven't seen Homecoming yet, but Tom Holland did his thing as Spider-Man. I'm currently pulling Elias, yo. I'm going on.
I feel. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. Twitter convinced me that he is the best Spider-Man.
Like his character's just jokes, bro. Like Civil War, I just loved him in Civil War because he's just like I'm just like, bro, he just pulls up, right? And I'm thinking, okay, who? Because I didn't know like who the hell was gonna show up in this film, like aside from like Black Panther and stuff, from like how they showed him in the beginning of Civil War. But then I just see this dude pull in. He's like, he's going at it with my man Winter Wolf. He's going with Falcon, and then he's a troll at the same time while taking care of these two. I'm just like. And then
that's very Spider-Man.
And then, you remember he was like, "Yo, I gotta put my best effort here." Mr. Stark's watching. Yo, I was crying.
And the best part too is like, you know, when because it's more for Homecoming, but like at the beginning of Homecoming when he has like the camera and stuff and like he's recording and shit, I'm just like, bro, he is sick of the head. Like he's just like, yo, like, it was a great day. It was a fun day. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Like, come on,
everyone.
Like, who does that shit? Like
that's really like his character though, especially when he's younger. It's super dope. Like the only time you ever see Spider-Man like not make jokes is like Carnage, because Carnage just goes on a rampage. So like when he's around, Spider-Man don't talk. It's all business. Otherwise, he was cracking jokes. I love Spider-Man.
Oh man, but then it's just like, you know, we got to lead up to, like, because we're gonna go through the rest of the film and like get questions and stuff. But like, what do we feel about the entirety though of the Battle of Wakanda for like everybody else in general? Like, you know, people like, you know, Black Panther, Cap, just like in general, like the whole entire fight sequence and stuff. Like, you felt like everybody got their moment to shine and stuff in battle, because I felt like in the beginning stages, Black Panther and Captain America did have that, but then I just felt afterwards, like as soon as Thanos came in, they just kind of were like overshadowed at that point more for the storyline, what was going on with like with Vision and Scarlet. And then speaking of that too, on top of that, we're gonna add into there after is like, how do you guys feel about the whole stuff with Vision? Like the whole thing while Shuri was gonna take away the Mind Stone, and then they flipped it to Scarlet afterwards, because I felt like you didn't need Shuri to do that thing if Scarlet was in general gonna take it out. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Well, Vision got his ass beat the entire movie. Like,
unfortunately,
I've never seen somebody look more tortured.
Yo, he got caught off guard. That was the strongest jump scare of the year. Yo.
Yeah,
dude, that's
no. But it wasn't just a jump scare. That nigga was getting his ass beat the entire movie.
He spends his entire time just getting his ass kicked that whole movie. Like, you have powers, use them. Like, why are you getting slapped like this?
Bro,
he was like a child. Like, they hit this nigga because they're just like, at any moment this nigga was going to die.
Dude, I think I've seen babies throw better hands than this. Like,
yeah.
Yo, who was it? It was whose trap was it? They activated the trap when they're in the house, and this man Vision got sent halfway, practically to the Earth's core or something like that. Yo, like yeah, Vision got slapped.
Yeah, I felt so
Weird
bad
as
for
hell,
that.
dude.
But
Weird
then,
as hell.
I think one thing I really
no,
appreciated about this movie was Strange. I thought Strange,
bro, Strange was perfect
yeah, he
because
was.
Strange is one of the people that I like a lot of Marvel. Like the MCU has a lot of characters that are dope, but they're not my favorite Marvel characters. But Spider-Man and Strange are two characters that I do like a lot, and I thought like they fully like portrayed that why he's the Sorcerer Supreme to a certain degree. Even the part where he uses the Eye of Agamotto and the Time Stone to see into the multiple futures, I'm like, that part's dope because I'm pretty sure what he's doing is he's following that timeline.
Yeah,
because he said
you didn't get that out of that. I don't know how you didn't.
Because he said there were like what 14 million different scenarios, and then it's like there was a one, and it makes sense that like of course like he's probably gonna be dead, but it's just like I mean we're gonna talk about more into that because I found like some interesting theories and stuff with some information and stuff I found out afterwards, but yeah, but everyone got washed by Thanos as soon as the stuff at Titan, like I got scared to death. I thought Iron Man died when he got stabbed. I'm like, wait, like, there's no way he killed off Tony Stark, bro. There's no way, like. But then he's like, he's like, you'll be remembered, and I'm like, wait, he's going out here, and it's like, no, like he's still fine after. But it's just like, everyone else there got destroyed, man. Like Thanos is just way too much. Like that, like you were saying before, Naya, the Reality Stone is just, it's wicked. Like when he was explaining with Doctor Strange in that one scene and stuff about how Titan used to be like this planet of prosper and stuff, and eventually he decided to make change and wanted to like cut down like populations in half and stuff, so that way like everyone could be able to eat and stuff and do what they need to do to survive, like a balance basically, yeah. And I'm just like, I get where he's coming from in that sense, where you want to try and like make things better, if in a weird way how he's doing, but at the same time like it's genocide, and genocide is wrong, like.
He also has the Infinity Gauntlet, and he could just supply what they need anyways.
Yeah,
But
I mean, yeah, but
you got it.
But man,
are you here twice, dude?
You say what? Oh, you're trolling.
No, what in the world?
There's one sicko in here. I know who it is. You're sick in the head, first and foremost. Recon, you were sick in the head.
Wow.
I don't know what to say about that. But
I thought my router was in danger for a second, yo.
What's good, fan, bro? Talking about Brock Lesnar.
Recon, thoughts on Brock's his big match of Mania.
Hey man, it was a 5-star classic. He did what he needed to do, yo.
Yo, Brock soloing Thanos?
Wait, what happened?
Is Brock soloing
Thanos? Brock soloing Thanos?
You damn right he is. You damn right he
Probably
is.
is.
You taking him to Suplex City. Suplex City.
F5s all day, baby.
He can get a Hulk with avalanche.
Bro, he's breaking.
All this for a drop of blood, eh?
Yeah, he's
Did
breaking.
y'all ever see that commercial where he F5'd the shark?
Oh yeah, from 02.
You can't tell me he wouldn't do it. Nigga, God.
F5 that Infinity Gauntlet into his own hand.
You look at Brock the Infinity Gauntlet, that'd be perfect.
Hey, next film. Since you brought it up, like, how do y'all think they're going to give everyone's their redemption shot? Like, especially with Hulk, y'all think Captain Marvel's going to come in the second half of the movie and just wreck everything, or?
Yeah, so the thing is like when I saw the end credits, right? I didn't understand the whole thing. Like, I saw it afterwards. Like, okay, that's a symbol for Captain Marvel.
Pissed.
Because I'm like,
her.
Okay, so because I want to get into that with Naya, because I know you talked before Marvel and stuff. Your disdain for her, but it's just like I saw the thing and I'm like, who the fuck is this person? Like, I was thinking for what second the Fantastic Four or some shit. Like, I've never seen this before. Like, again,
they don't own the rights to that one.
Yeah, but I mean, they're gonna get soon. What's his name? The X-Men soon from Fox. So I mean, it's gonna be interesting, man.
That's right.
Well, they own Fox now, so.
Well, I mean, the rights already been bought though.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, they could incorporate. That's the thing, because they haven't been talking about the title or anything for the next film. So I mean, maybe they could incorporate those characters in there somehow. But then I don't know. Do they save them?
They probably get a mini cameo. I don't see them actually doing anything. That'd be too weird.
X-Men?
They just pop up if they did something.
I think they'll save them for another phase. I don't think they're gonna shoehorn them in. They might hint at them, but they're not gonna shoehorn them in there now. It's not the time. It's this way, because you could use them for the future.
Yeah,
and then, if you want to time skip or anything, or anyone's contract runs up, you can replace them.
Yeah, I bet.
But I mean, like, it's crazy because then it's like I saw the scene and I'm like, yo, Nick ain't dusted. I'm just like, really, like we're gonna get into the depths afterwards because I did have like one major problem with it, and I would say it's not really a major problem because like I kind of know like from the comics like who's supposed to be around for certain stuff, but it's just like I didn't like the fact that like the entire Avengers cast was like still around. You know what I mean? It's just like, you know, everyone like was a side character or like who came into Civil War afterwards was taken out, but like everyone specifically like, and especially like,
that was
like,
the point. Well, that was the point, wasn't it? Kind of in a way.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying like even people like, you know, Hawkeye, who's like a main member of the Avengers, who was not even in the film, and it makes me think like, is he dead or like, you know, like what's going on?
I thought he was dead. They mentioned him and Scott, so they're definitely around. I think Scott would be a useful tool. Against Thanos.
Well, they took out Hawkeye. Remember, Black Panther was like, I don't care. He was done. We don't need to see him no more.
Yeah, I know Clint is like doing his own thing, but you don't think if Clint finds out this is happening, that he wouldn't feel obligated to help?
Oh yeah, or is that, or watch the world get destroyed? He ain't got no.
There you go.
Yeah. But it was weird because I know like the Scott thing, they said like he was like under house arrest and stuff, which I guess ties into Ant-Man and the Wasp afterwards. But like I was just kind of disappointed. I'm like, yo, why is Hawkeye not in this, man? Like it would have been cool to see him at least go in, you know, see some arrows being like thrown at the aliens and shit. But
dude, I ain't trying to watch that.
I mean, I don't think he could help, but I mean, he should have been there.
I didn't want. See,
for sure, yo. He can't help.
He would have been a mid version of Legolas from Lord of the Rings.
I really was waiting for a scene where Thanos about to use something, and then like you just see like one of the gems just like floating, like what the hell, and then you just see Ant-Man take a stone. I was waiting for that for so long.
That would have been dope.
That'd have been the greatest thing.
Oh my god!
What was the deal with What was the deal after Thanos did his thing with the snap? Like the gauntlet, did it infuse with them or?
Yeah, because it broke after and stuff, and
it looked like in this version of the snap, it just looked like he used a lot of power, and it cracked the gauntlet and it fucked up his arm.
Oh shit!
Yeah. So then I guess like it ties into what you were saying before, Terrell, like how they're gonna be able to fix that. Because I heard there's something where like they have like a plate of armor or something that's made afterwards, where like, you know, it said that Iron Man could wear it, and I guess like they infuse like the Infinity Stones on it to help like reverse the effects of what Thanos had did. But I'm thinking to myself, now it comes down to the Soul Stone, like because you have to sacrifice someone to wield its power. And I saw like an interesting theory from I don't know if you guys watch Emergency Awesome. If you guys know who he is.
Yeah, I've heard.
I don't know.
Yeah, so basically, he's a comic guy and stuff, and he was like talking about this idea that you know, maybe like the sacrifice being like Captain America, because the fact like he's been around for 95 years and stuff in total time, and you would figured like if anyone's gonna be of sacrifice for you know, to use a Soul Stone, he's like probably a candidate and stuff. So I'm thinking like for you guys, like, well, who would you consider like a worthy sacrifice to be able to reverse those times?
He'd be the one. He'd definitely be the one.
Yeah.
I mean, based off if you're going off based off like goodness and stuff, yeah. But I mean, if you're asking me based off the comics, I mean, it would be Adam Warlock because he's the one who's supposed to be in the Soul Stone.
Yeah.
When they find it,
That's factual.
and or Nebula, because Nebula is the one who actually, when Thanos becomes one with the universe, Nebula is the one that has the Infinity Gauntlet on, and she becomes the final antagonist, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's when we get Farmer. I can't wait to see Farmer Thanos, bro. Just Farmer. They have to give it to me. I need that.
That's just
I need
how
to see that, bro.
next
I
movie.
need Farmer Thanos.
Wait. Like he's wearing like a straw hat on his head top.
That would be hilarious.
Like
bro.
killing a field. Like,
He's killing a raptor right now.
I'm not playing with y'all, man.
To uncomplicate like all the things that happen, basically in Divergent, he basically wishes himself to lose because he didn't really want to win, and he's like, oh, you know what, fuck it, I just farm. He turned into a farmer.
Yeah. So it's like, I wonder like how they're gonna go find them afterwards. You know what I mean? Like they're just gonna go travel planets and shit to go and find this dude. Like what the fuck's gonna happen? Like because if they're gonna get but then it depends on the stones. Like are the stones gonna be like the Dragon Balls and just scatter around the universe and shit again? Like how the fuck's that work?
There's so many like big name celestials and cosmic entities that are not in the MCU, so like they're not there to safeguard stuff and whatnot. So I don't know what they're gonna do after the fact when they get the stone. Maybe they just, you know, give it to certain people for safekeeping. But based on only theories that I have that could happen are based off things that I've seen in the comics, how it ends, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you ask me for a theory that has nothing to do with anything that's ever happened in any comic, I like the idea of them somehow getting 3 stones off of Thanos and giving it to Steve. And Steve has maybe power, time, and something, and Thanos has reality, power, or whatever, and then they go at it. Because like the one scene that we're all really waiting for is the part where all hope is lost and it's just Thanos and Cap, and he's like, "What are you gonna do? Like everyone's dead." And he's like, "There's still one man standing. It's not over yet." And like, everyone's. I'm waiting for that scene, bro.
Bro, Cap will be on the same level as my man Solid Snake. Like he literally would.
I love how Cap. I love how Cap was like, "We don't need to like trade lives," and the vision got buried. Like, thanks, dude.
Yeah.
Good job, Cap. Great job. Great. Thanks, Cap.
Yo, so Stark is still on
Him and Nebula are on Titan. See,
Yeah,
Nebula. The fact that Nebula's alive is giving me like
big.
You think like Infinity, like not Nick Spencer, not fucking God, John Hickman's run. I can't remember his name right now, but the older one, when she has the gauntlet at the end. So I think she might do something, but she doesn't seem as evil in this one.
Yeah, it's just she
does seem angry though.
Yeah.
It's like a Vegeta thing, honestly. It's just like, at some point, like, you go from being like the badass bad guy and then, just go on the good side and everything after.
I like what Froggy Style says. Sacrifice the Hulk since he's useless. Yeah.
Did the Bruce Banner? Hey, wait. You have to let Bruce at least hit Natasha one time before he goes to the sunset, It's just only fair.
Consider all people who weren't here who were supposed to be doing work.
So can we talk about the worst part of the movie?
There were none.
Let's talk about the worst part of the movie, the ending. When we saw Captain Marvel, and it made me fucking mad because I held my teeth through the end credit scene to see that symbol. I'm like, yo, I'm so mad. I can't stand her. I hate her.
So what is it about her, Naya? Like, why? What was his disdain for Captain Marvel?
Yeah, give my girl some slack.
No. Okay, I'll say this one thing. I'm going I'm not gonna pay money to see this because but I'll give the MCU like a chance to make a good version of her. But in the comic books, first of all, I always have this for people who try to act like they like her. I have one exercise for you. Describe her personality. You can't. She has none. She's trash, right? She's one of those people who just at the whim of the writer. She's just a bunch of bullshit and doesn't make any sense. Now, my problem with her started around, I want to say 2014, where they started pushing this like kind of SJW, like Marvel, all new, blah, blah. And they put her in the forefront, like, oh, she's the greatest superhero of all time or ever. And she did literally nothing to deserve this, mind you. She didn't do anything to deserve this. They just tried to push her. And nobody would buy them. They could cancel it, and they would just like bring her back in like a couple months. Like, no one's buying these. Stop pushing her forward. And my main issue, like, really started with her, like, was in Civil War 2, because around Civil War, right, Bendis was writing Civil War 2. And make a long story short, it's basically Minority Report. They find Ulysses, who is a inhuman, who has the ability to see, like, crimes before they happen, quote unquote. So Captain Marvel's like, oh, we should go arrest them before it happens. Tony's like, you can't arrest somebody who's done nothing wrong. Beef. Civil War 2, right? And basically, we find out. So basically, what happened in one of these fights is that her actions got Rhodes killed, and She-Hulk was in a coma, and her and Tony are arguing. And basically, she's like, "Yo, I know I'm in the wrong, and she's like, I love you, Tony, but I will let your best friend die, aka also my potential future husband, because they're dating. I don't know if they're engaged, but they're dating." Die again if the time came. This is after they find out that Ulysses's like predictions aren't even true. She found out that they could be wrong, and she doubled down on it. Is she retarded? I can't say that.
Nah. Guess what? Woman.
I hate her. And then she arrested Miles for no reason.
Hey, I'm kidding. For all the women out there, I love y'all. I'm joking.
Yeah, Vince is lying. I'm playing. But damn, man. I mean, I'm still gonna go buy the film, and if I don't like it, I'm gonna go talk to Marvel about it.
Damn, I buried her whole character before she appeared on screen. Nobody
before we even get a full appearance, bro. Before she debuts. Before she debuts on Monday Night Raw.
When the mutants had to sign themselves to like with the government, she basically comes like, "Hey guys, haha, like, oh, we're friends, hee 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 haha." And Emma Frost is like, why don't you tell Scott why you're already here? She's like, I know, the government has effed you guys over. 40 of your students were murdered literally yesterday, but yeah, sign with the government. Like, what's wrong with you? You're so whack. You suck. There's nothing about you that's good, except for your old design. You had the Tig old Yiddies, and you don't have those no more.
Hey.
Now you're super trash.
So if they rebook her, right? So if they get a good booker and stuff, right? And then they prepare her better in her movie, would that change your opinion?
I mean, the MCU version will be good. She's still trash.
That's true. I respect your opinion, though, man. But
my man didn't have to bury her.
I mean, that's beyond the ken of anybody who does not read the comics.
Because it's basically like literally like you're about to debut at WrestleMania, and you just like you have like Dave Meltzer just going off on this guy like he's garbage. He's not gonna draw the house or anything. Like it's just like. But I love it though. But it's giving me some insight at least into this Captain Marvel. But I know she's
very strong though. She's dumb strong.
Yeah,
she's powerful.
I've heard like many stories about her. Like she's like I guess like because I know from Marvel like the Captain Marvel film like it's supposed to be set in the 90s or something because like it's way before what's going on here, and then obviously it's gonna tell us where she's been since that time. So that's why the whole thing with the fax machine or whatever, right? Like to try to get back to her and stuff. So. I'm interested in seeing this too because I guess like by then her powers have been like I guess skyrocketed to like the tip top like what could it be? So
it's smart because that way she's already an established hero with complete control of her powers when she comes back to Earth.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I heard like there was some crazy shit that happens to her too, like how she gets her powers. Like people like she ends up getting like she ends up being like kidnapped and stuff, like experimented on. So it's just like
she like gives birth to her nemesis. Her and Rogue like gets her powers and her person. There's so much dumb stuff that happens with Captain Marvel.
That's crazy. Damn.
But if this leads into them introducing Kamala Khan, like Miss Marvel, I'm super with it because I like her. She's fun. She's fun. I like Miss Marvel.
So they said she's gonna be coming up soon too, Miss Marvel. No.
And it's good, and it's good representation because she's like Muslim, right? So that'll be good to get them on the screen and stuff. So I like inclusion and stuff. So I like to see that. So representation is important.
So I guess we can go like into like our ratings and stuff for the film. So like we'll go like in order and stuff. So like your overall pretty much like your last overall thoughts and like your rating, and then I guess like because I want to say like what your top 5 like MCU films for everyone here that's in the call and stuff. After that, but yeah, we'll start off with Coach, man. Recon, your rating for Infinity War, or should I say Brock Lesnar's Mania moment?
Suplex City.
Suplex City.
Rating for Suplex City for me is a 9. And then in terms of where it ranks in my favorites, right? For favorite MCU, my number 1 is still Winter Soldier.
Go.
My number 2 is probably still Black Panther, but I need to go back and rewatch Infinity War. I only watched it once. But yeah, that would be number 2. Number 3 would be Infinity War. Number 4 might be Civil War, and then I have a really strong soft spot for the first Ant-Man film, so that'd probably be number 5, and that probably round up my top 5.
That's respectable.
Okay.
Alan, I'll save mine for last and stuff. Alan, your rating for Infinity War and your top 5.
For Infinity Wars, I can give it like a 7.5. I want to say.
Okay.
And like as for the rankings, like I have almost the same stuff as Coach, except I think like I have Doctor Strange in at number 4, and then number 5. Yeah, I can give it to Civil War, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. How about Naya? Hit me with the facts, man.
I gave this movie like a 9. Good.
Okay.
It's good. I think the most important thing for this movie for me, even though I have issues, I didn't feel cheated. Like from the moment I've been waiting for Thanos and he appeared on screen, the wait was worth it. I didn't feel cheated. I didn't feel like they rushed it. I'm like, this was great. He was an essential character. Great. Like the payoff. That's what I cared about. I didn't feel like it paid off, but it's not one of my favorite movies. I probably have it floating around 5 or 6 though. But I have Winter Soldier.
Yep.
Sorry, you can't beat that movie. It's the goal.
Yeah.
Okay. This dude fire. then I have the first Guardians, because what I have to respect about that movie is they took a name that's not a household name and made it one, because it was a risk. No one really knew who that was. Like, aside from probably people who played MVC3 or Ultimate MVC3, they knew who Rocket was, but that's about it. No one who knew they were. And James Gunn did a good job, and there's no movie that looks like that. The way he filmed it, great soundtrack, I love it. I have Black Panther at 3.
Okay.
because Wakanda forever.
Wakanda. That's right. That's right.
Well, I mean, for like 2 months,
The
given what
Black
happened.
Panther, right?
Wait. At the end of Infinity War, is that your king?
Is that your king, bro?
You ain't got no
This
king
man
now,
has had the worst. This man has had the worst rule ever.
That was rough, yeah.
Plus,
It's not fair to him.
Plus, I'm in the movie Young Mbaku. Trap shout out to the apes.
Hey,
Mbaku,
hey. Praise Hanuman, Mike.
I'm gonna buy that on Blu-ray, and I'm gonna see Mbaku and be like, "Hey, yo, shout out to Naya."
Yeah, that's me. 4, I have the first Avengers because just seeing them come on screen for the first time, you just can't beat that, man. That was so hype for me. Back 10, a while ago, 2010 maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know how long it was. That was so great for me to see. And then at 5, the first Iron Man. I love Iron Man 1. It's great. That's one of the best superhero origin movies in my opinion.
It is, man. It's a really fun film. Really.
You know what it is, Naya? And this is pretty crazy. I was talking to my boy from college and stuff because he was really heavy trying to get me into the comics and stuff and with the MCU verse. And for the longest time, he had Iron Man 1 as his favorite film in the entirety of the MCU films up until Infinity War came out. Then he put that as his 1 and Iron Man number 2. But it's I liked Iron Man 1, but I never knew it had that much of an impact on people where it's that high on their list, top 3 and stuff. I love Tony Stark, don't get me wrong, and I think my feeling on Iron Man more comes down to what happens after with Vanko in 2 and then the Mandarin in 3. The
Mandarin.
Please don't talk about the Mandarin.
The GOAT,
bro. That's been.
Hey, I posted that pic in the Discord.
Bro. I know. It's
you're sick of the head for that one.
Why you do these things?
I don't know, bro.
I blame SJ Captain, but go ahead.
Bro, the Mandarin killed me, man, because it's just I was he had a go appearance, the through the films and stuff, the TV and stuff, how he was portraying himself, and I'm just as soon as we see him in the bed with the girls, I'm like, what is going on? No, this gotta be a stunt double, and then it's no, that's him, and I'm like. And the only thing that took me back, the only thing that didn't make me hate him as much, but in the end I still think he's kind of trash, was the whole thing him watching the Champions League game with Chelsea and Liverpool. That's the only reason why I didn't call him mid after that, because he knows his greatness.
Nah.
Real Madrid Chelsea game, bro.
I mean, if it's Man United, I would respect him more, but he knows football is top 1 sport. But
that's facts.
That's major facts. Shout out to the World Cup, man. Stream coming up soon.
Portugal out here.
Hey, that's what I'm saying.
Facts.
That's
straight facts.
And we got a fire team this year, but we'll save for the World Cup stream. But Terrell, you're rating on Infinity War and your top 5.
Yo, Infinity War easily 10 out of 10. Yo.
Yeah.
That's my number 1. Number 2, Black Panther. Wakanda Forever.
Wakanda Forever.
Wakanda Forever.
3,
the Black Panther.
3 would be Age of Ultron was the second Avengers, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I got that number 3.
Yuck.
Wow. I can't agree with that at all.
Yeah, 4, I got Doctor Strange, and I still gotta rewatch Winter Soldier. I never got to finish it, and 5.
For Ant-Man, bro. Give me some respect.
No, I haven't seen that. Yeah, there are a lot of movies I'm missing out on. So 5, I'll just put I'll put first Iron Man.
Okay.
We're put Kingdom Hearts, right?
Put Kingdom Hearts.
Okay.
Hey, Thanos is gonna be the final villain of Kingdom Hearts. You heard it here first.
Sora washing him.
Hey, that's facts.
He might actually.
Power.
When he gets Kingdom Hearts, he will.
Yeah, that's a shoot.
He's gonna have the Avengers. He's gonna have the Avengers as summons, yo.
Straw Hat, what's your rating on Infinity War in your top 5? Straw Hat. Is he there?
All right, nice talk.
Straw Hat.
He's left us, yeah.
Oh, he left it? Damn. Vince.
He heard Thanos and dip.
All right, so rating, I give it a.
The Sanctum was unguarded. He's guarding the Sanctum.
I think it's because I gave him that imagery of Thanos wearing this.
Oh Lord.
On the farm.
Yeah. This farming.
So rating, I gave it a 1 I got Winter Soldier. Come on now.
Yeah, there's no other answer.
Winter Soldier. It's the Winter Soldier, man.
Mm-hmm.
2, Black Panther. 3, Infinity War. 4, the first Iron Man. And 5, I went really back and forth on this, but I would put Spider-Man Homecoming.
I can respect that. Spider-Man go.
I respect this. That's probably number 6.
But I really gave it an 8.5 strictly because Wong went to protect the Sanctum. Like I did.
Hey, man, he's a goat.
That shit happened.
Yeah.
Hey, Vince, it was unguarded. What could he do? He was unguarded.
Right,
He was there.
Hey, think about it, bro. He's stopping Galactus from coming through, man.
Yeah, that's a shoot.
You know, he's fighting him right now as we speak.
See, listen. Let me tell you something. Wong knew shit before Ultron did. That nigga knew who was coming. He was like, I don't think we should do this. He told them he's on the ride there. He was like, nah, we shouldn't do this.
Observation hockey on fleek, son.
Yeah.
Straight up.
But yeah, that's gonna be tough, man. Because I loved Infinity War, man. I really loved it. Like as a first time experience, like being in a theater and watching this since like Iron Man 1 and the Hulk, and thank God it washed out the taste of the Hulk, right out of my mouth from like 08. So it was a nice 10-year build. But I love this film. Like it was just, like there were little minor things here and there and stuff, but as enjoyment, man, it was just up there.
The
like,
Black Order.
So the Black Order, man. Hey, they did okay. They did okay. Shout out to Ma.
They put in somewhere. That's all I'm saying, right? Ma, he went in. He actually did.
Yeah.
But he got Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man.
That was so weird, yo.
But
like you're using all these powers, but anyway,
it's great. It's great because like the way it's like because Winter Soldier, I have it like really high up, and you know what? Realistically, it flips for me right now. But right now, as I'm feeling. It's Winter Soldier still like number 1. So Infinity War, I'm giving this at least like a 10. But Winter Soldier would have to be a 10 as well. So Winter Soldier number 1. Then
it's a 5.25.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It would be if it's 6.5 stars, then Winter Soldier is 6 3/4. But so it'd be Winter Soldier, then it'd be Infinity War. that gets tough, man. Because going back, Civil War was some heat.
It was, man.
And then it's just like look, when it comes to a cast, I love the Guardians of the Galaxy, and 2, I just loved it. I love 2. Like 2 is just phenomenal. I loved it. Like shout out to Yondu. Ego was a hell of a villain. Like I hated him. They did the job what he needed to do. I just hate his guts. Like the second this man said, "Well, it sucks that I had to put the tumor in your mom," I was like, "Get ready to unclip that entire thing on his fucking head." Until David Romanoff, whatever the fuck his name is, David Hoffenheim, whatever his name is, the
Hofstadter. I don't know. I'm just.
But that guy shows up, and I'm like, fuck. And then afterwards, like it just became like so good after, and just the comedy was on point. I loved it. And then 5, like, I'll put respect on Wakanda, man. Black Panther 5.
Hey.
I'll put respect, man. It might climb up. I gotta get the rewatch in. It might come. Yeah.
You know they can't strip it away anymore, right?
Yeah, like it's crazy because it's like I can think. You know what? No, it'll be Winter Soldier, Infinity War, Civil War, then Black Panther, then Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Because Black Panther was fire, man. It's just like I can't for me, I can't relate to the culture and all that stuff. But the way I think the portrayal and everything was there for it, I think was just superbly well done. And just like the interactions of like all the characters, T'Challa had really good character development with his stuff, because with him and learn what his father had done and stuff, like he wanted to be a different king opposed to what all these other kings at the time were doing, and like he had that inner conflict because he felt like he was representing everything that Wakanda stood for since the very beginning of time. But then it's like his girl telling him, no, like you have that power to change it, you got to switch it up. You went all wrong. But Killmonger, look, Thanos is the go villain, but Killmonger, he's like low outside my top 3. But Killmonger, bro, like I legit had to leave my room when I saw the scene with him and his pops, and when he's like, no tears for me, and he's like, everybody dies, such is how life is around here. And then like when the pops goes, look what I've done, I'm like, fuck, I'm out of here, bro. Like there's no way I can do it.
Michael B. Jordan factually read Naruto weekly.
He did. He factually on Manga Panda on 1.
On Manga Panda, bro.
Respectable.
Damn, that nigga really read through mid weekly.
Yeah, I feel for him, man.
Poor guy, yo. Poor guy.
Manga Panda.
But it's just like, Black Panther was phenomenal, man.
As a fellow Black, I also enjoyed Black Panther a lot.
Are you categorizing me as an ape or?
I mean, I am. I'm in the movie, but shout out to Japari. We will not have it.
No.
We will not have it.
It's challenge day.
Challenge day. But yo, I love that scene. I love that scene with him and Chala when they're coming up together, and it's like, yo, it's like, thank you for coming, and he's like, my brother, and I'm just like, yo, okay, like these guys, they threw hands, they had a great fight in Black Panther, and then like they're cool, like okay, like.
Yeah, that's all you need. That's how grown men speak. That's how grown men speak. You fight one time, you get your ass whooped, and you be like, all right, I respect it.
Exactly. You know, you're missing an eyeball and shit, you're good, bro. But this guy, he got respect beat into him, man. Like, I loved it. But I gotta say, man, I'm grateful to go into the Marvel films. Like, I was kind of hesitant at first, but then it's like, I've heard the hype for it, and then just being able to experience it the last, like, 3.5 weeks has just been, like, it's been crazy, man. And I'm
happy you gave it a shot.
Yeah, because
if I like the X-Men movies, I'd tell you to watch them, but I don't. So.
No, I feel you there, man.
It's up to you. I ain't gonna tell you to do it, though.
Yeah. I mean,
there's a lot of nostalgia with those movies, though, man. Like,
fair,
I feel you. I really do feel you, because I would rather recommend the comics, of course, myself. With the X-Men, but just man, Cyclops, that character model that Fox made.
Damn, they hated Cyclops. In the movie.
Bro.
I also hate Cyclops, so I don't mind.
Yeah, I still don't like Cyclops, but damn,
garbage in general.
I got Stan Scott.
Yeah, he annoying little bitch for sure.
Man.
But yeah, lads, I'm happy you gave it a try.
Yeah, because now it's like I want to check out the comics too, because I've been hearing like so many good things too, especially like, you know, from like X-Men and stuff, Fantastic Four.
I have a lot of fun reading Captain America. I'm not gonna lie, like those comics.
Man, 25, I got you.
Yeah, because I know Nia and Alan specifically, they've been trying to put me on to.
Well, Darius Green is good. He's cat.
Wait, what?
Hey, man.
I know.
Vince is killing me, man. Vince, you good, bro?
Nah.
Man.
Oh yeah, I'm good. My bad.
I was like, hey, are they talking to?
I got people at my house. My bad.
You got accosted, yeah.
I thought you were talking to the Russo brothers and asking why kill off Loki, but
hey,
I might just like.
Oh, you want me to talk to them? You want me to talk to them about that? Because Loki's my favorite villain.
That's what I'm saying, dude. He was until Thanos came up, then but Loki was the top 4. He was top 4 for me character, and then just like, bro, you can't make me watch in theater my boy getting choked out like that. That's
not
the
beginning
fair.
scene too, bro.
It's coming back to what you said earlier too, though. Like he watched the Hulk get slapped around by this guy, and he's like, you know what? Let me jump in on this.
In the throat.
Like,
Yeah,
look, Loki said I can't be no bitch in front of my brother. Okay.
I mean, I guess, but like, that's not his combat style. Like,
he's not a muscle.
He's the god of mischief, bro. Like, do mischief.
Show me some trickery, my guy.
You already got humbled by the Valkyrie.
Listen, Wong took his portal. He couldn't to the sanctum. What did you want him to do?
But don't do anything. Basically, just stay still. Listen to the Thanos, bro. At least you live a little bit longer. You be a bitch, but you live a little longer. Like, oh man.
Hey man, if I'm dying anyway, bro, I'm gonna try to swing at that nigga, bro.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he said. He said, "Damn, ain't no way out of it."
Oh,
yeah, I mean, Thor survived it, so
he only had the power stone. I'm running.
Yeah, that's true.
Straight up.
But I need to see what happens with Valkyrie, because Valkyrie
that magic.
Bye.
Yeah.
Draw a circle on the ground.
Oh wow. Yikes. But
instant transmission. I'm out.
Oh man, but yo, Valkyrie, I was like, yo, what the hell happened to her? And then it's like they said she took like what, half the people and stuff before they departed when Thanos rolled up.
Confirmed she's alive.
Yeah, so it makes me wonder, like, you know, how they gonna bring her back in? Like, is she gonna just go and run into like to Earth or whatever, or like a nearby planet?
I bet you. Oh, I don't know. I want to see her come back though.
Yeah, because I you know what, man? Look, Jane was cool, but I like Valkyrie and Thor way more, man. Way more. Like, they actually look like they could be a couple.
Wait, hold on. We didn't even talk about hey, Mr. Stark. I don't feel so good because I died a little on the inside. Like, no, not like
this. Listen, man. Any person after watching that film, bro, any person that posts that stuff again with my boy Spider-Man and that line, they get blocked. Like,
Spider-Man.
I hate, bro. It pissed me off, man, because it's like, yo, that scene got to me. I'm just like, damn, man. Like, I don't want to go. I'm just like, fuck.
You know what really gets me about that scene is because Tony did not want him to come, and you can see in his face, like this is why he should have stayed on the damn planet, like that. Like you could feel the guilt in him. Like he's just like, it's my fault. He's dead.
Yeah, and it's like, if you look at that moment too, right? Especially, it's like it's so weird to say, but like Tony looked at him like a kid, like his own kid. You know what I mean? It's like, your teenage boy is like, stay home. I told you to not fucking do this. And then he comes, and it's just like, you look at him as your kid, especially like the way they kind of tease too with like with Tony and Pepper, like they're gonna be trying to get into have a kid and stuff afterwards. And I feel like that like again that kind of dynamic with Peter I thought was just really dope, which gets set into 4. Like eventually, like if he decides to retire or stop out stuff, that could happen. But
Aunt May's teaming up with Thanos.
You say what?
Special Aunt May, my guy, is gonna team up with Thanos.
Oh my god.
I'm rejecting you, right?
Hey man.
Reject dial.
Yo, right? Rejectile that down.
Bro, I'm gonna be dead as hell, man. These guys be farming on his daughter's homeland and stuff with the straw hat and everything. With that chin.
The opening scene.
Farmer Thanos for the win.
Yeah, man.
Y'all told me, okay, so low key, y'all talked about the Fantastic Four, and I just realized I need them strictly because I just
Doom,
bro.
Yeah,
That's my favorite character.
Doom.
Yeah,
Doom.
because the thing is, like,
Doom.
I got spoiled on a scene where in the comics where I think it's like an alternate universe thing, I think, but it's something where Doom actually does take out Thanos.
Secret Wars.
Right, and then I'm thinking, like, if they were gonna, because they got the rights now to, was it X-Men or was it Fantastic Four? I forget now.
I can't even keep up these days. I don't know.
So it's like, let's say
They bought out Fox. They bought out Fox.
Yeah.
They have all the rights.
Yeah, so it's like if they wanted to get like have Doom come in there and stuff after, right? I'm saying like if
like real Doom on TV. I'm showing up in my
If
Doom
Doom
mask.
catches the
I'm
money in the
showing
bank,
up in a mask.
you know what I mean? So
bro.
let's say like because they haven't said anything about the title and stuff, right? So let's say they do something where they do that ending where it's like, let's say Thanos try to get back at them. He decided, I'm gonna try to recruit this guy that he hears about named Doom, and then Doom go and washes him afterwards and sets up Doom for afterwards.
11 out of 10 film.
They would, yeah.
Victor Von Doom, yes.
Oh,
Yeah, bro.
That's a 12 out of 10.
my dude, man.
He's the best in Marvel. My favorite character in Marvel.
Yeah, same. Favorite character.
What if they just like don't introduce him and he just shows up?
And I'm pulling up the MCU's headquarters and I'm fighting everybody.
And I'm joining Naya there, man. I'm bringing a Predator missile and AC-130, bro.
Facts.
Like, that's guys I got.
Laz's gonna show up in his Sanji raid suit.
Oh, get out of here with this shit, bro. They put me in the penitentiary. Like, I don't want out.
Well, we know about you, secret Sanji stand. It's alright.
Nah.
It's okay to be a Sanji stan, lads, bro. I'm there with
Sanji
you.
raw.
Nah, man.
Sanji's fire.
Yo,
superior.
someone pass me the rope, man. I'll send you my email.
You know he's fire because he cooks with. You know he's fire because he cooks with fire, my guy.
That's right.
That's enough. All right.
I'm trying to tell you.
Yo, Che Marks, we do need Frank and Richards too. Yeah, you need Richards because you just need to see. We need to see him just flex his genius, just flex it, and then see Doom get jealous over it, and then do some dumb shit.
Yo, can I just say this real quick though from Froggy style in the chat? Froggy's like Aunt May getting her cheeks clapped simple.
Yo,
He's channeling the Power Stone until you know where.
Bro, Peter's gonna come back to life, bro, and Thanos is clapping. Like, what do you do, man?
Yo.
I ain't saying I don't go losing some shit, bro.
Oh, man.
Hey, we all knew Thanos exceeded expectations when Bruce crashed into in the safe hold. This man was like, Thanos is coming. Strange was like, who?
Yeah, I still love.
Wow, he really beat the Hulk's ass. He really pieced that.
That was so satisfying for me because I hate Hulk. I'm like, oh, thank God.
It's just it's weird because like I like Bruce Banner's character, but just the Hulk in general, just like I don't know. I just feel like he's just.
The Hulk is nonsense. Don't worry about it.
But then he got body slammed, bro. He got hit with like when Hogan body slammed Andre the Giant. That's pretty much what it was.
You know it was a rap when that Thanos servant, he was like, nah, just let him have his fun.
Yeah.
I was like, oh
yeah, you knew he was gonna body him.
Yeah. Like.
But the way he did it, I almost thought Thanos was a fucking. He was in the sanctum burning that martial arts, bro.
Straight up.
Oh man. But yo, like great film, man. But thoughts on Ant-Man and the Wasp? Were we going to the theaters to watch this or what?
I'm down.
Yeah, for sure. Naya.
You cut out. What'd you say?
No, I'm saying for Ant-Man and the Wasp, are we going to be watching this in theaters?
Yeah.
Sure. Just give me. Buy me a ticket to to Toronto, bro. I'll be there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'll mail you the raid suit.
I'm gonna get the bootleg.
I'm down. I'm
I'll
down.
pack the spider outside my house. Take SJC.
Oh yeah, okay, nah.
I'll take Quentin too, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Quentin comes, bro. Then Australia's off the map. But
I can finally give Laz's raid suit.
Hell nah.
Hey,
Hell nah.
right. If he doesn't want to take it, I'll take it, bro.
Hey, let's shoot. I'll mail it for free. But yeah, man, this is a great stream though. Honestly, like just talking about the films and stuff. I want to do like a more in-depth discussion. Just talking about the film aside just from Infinity War, and it's kind of like like our love for like MCU and stuff. But appreciate everyone coming through though. Honestly, Recon, Terrell, Naya, Alan, Vince, Straw Hat Man, like just this is dope. This is dope. This is definitely dope.
Hey,
but
when you do that stream,
thanks for having us.
Hey, appreciate it, man. What do you say, Terrell?
I gotta once I finish rewatching, or basically catching up again.
Yeah.
Yo, you do that stream, I'm gonna be in there, yo.
Most of. I'm gonna see.
And then Age of Ultron will be out of his top 5.
It won't even be in his top 20.
Honestly,
it won't be in his top 20, and there's not even 20
I
films.
wish I can tell you the lads to go watch the DCEU, but I can't do that.
No.
I gotta.
Yes, you can do though. Let's watch those animated
it's not
movies.
mid, bro.
The animated movies, I got you though.
Okay. Wait, Batman Ninja?
Oh gosh,
we're not gonna talk about that. That shit don't exist.
Why?
That's the perfect time in the stream.
Why would you do this?
Yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Catch you guys next time. Peace.
No, don't like.
Yeah, don't like after that comment.
We'll catch you guys next time.